Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really going somewhere fascinating. We're exploring the Trillium Seraphim continuum. Yeah, it's a pretty radical hypothesis. The core idea we want to unpack is, well, what if reality isn't solid? What if it's more like an intricate, conscious dream state, something actively rendered around us? And this isn't just, abstract philosophy. It tries to weave together ancient ideas, quantum physics, the really strange stuff, and philosophy to give us a totally new way of looking at reality, consciousness, even time. So, yeah, get ready to maybe question things.
Absolutely. And right at the heart of it is this idea of the Seraphim field. You can think of it as the universal source of the dream, the ultimate conscious foundation for everything. But it's not passive. It's more like this infinite intelligent canvas, or maybe a cosmic server. It holds all potential, and it's actively, constantly rendering the dream into existence. It's basically the source code and the processor for what we perceive.
Okay, so if the Seraphim field is the projector, let's say, where do we fit in? Our consciousness, I mean. Are we just watching the dream? Or are we part of it somehow? Is there a distinction?
That's a really key part. The theory suggests a kind of dual role for consciousness. There's the higher self. That's described as the true dreamer, the part connected directly to that seraphim field, orchestrating the bigger picture, the narrative. And then there's what we experience daily, the everyday mind. That's more like the avatar or the interface inside the dream, fully immersed, taking in all the sensory data, the emotions, like when you're really lost in a vivid dream at night.
Right, got it. The dreamer and the character in the dream. But how does this potential, this source code, become, well, real? Tangible? Is there a mechanism described? Like, how does the rendering actually happen?
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting because it points to quantum mechanics. It suggests QM is essentially the dream's rendering engine. Think about the double slit experiment. You have this wave of potential unobserved light maybe going, you could say -1, +1. But when it hits the point of observation, the zero of current, the slit's consciousness interacts. And that act of observation, boom, collapses the wave into particles. Potential becomes actual. So our perception isn't just passive viewing, it's actively involved in making reality tangible moment by moment.
Wow. Okay, so observing is co-creating, in a way. But what about our beliefs, our interpretations? Surely they shape our experience too.
Definitely. That leads into hermeneutics and programming. These act as the dream's scripts and filters. All our interpretations, conscious or unconscious, they function like preloaded software. Think about societal conditioning, parents, school, culture. It all shapes our expectations. It leads to what the theory kind of calls a shared consensual hallucination. We mostly agree on the rules of this reality.
A shared dream script. But can anyone deviate from the script? Can you become aware within the dream?
Well, the idea is yes, much like lucid dreaming at night, some people might be less bound by that programming, maybe artistic children, as the outline notes, who question things more. They might retain a bit more that lucid dreamer ability, able to influence their perceived reality more consciously. Understanding the filters could give you more agency, you see.
That makes sense. More awareness, potentially more influence.
Yeah.
Which brings us to time. If reality is this fluid dream, what does that mean for time? It feels so linear to us.
Right. But in this continuum, time isn't seen as some external track we're moving along. It's described as an intrinsic, fluid dimension within the Seraphim field itself. The Trillium model talks about nonlinearities, even closed time-like curves, CTCs. Think of time perhaps less like a line and more like a single unified current, the 0 point, the future, maybe +1, the past, -1, but they're all moving together as one, simultaneously existing within the field. Those strange coincidences, synchronicities, perhaps they're glimpses of that underlying non-linearity, moments the deeper structure shows through. So to quickly recap, the Trillium Seraphim continuum paints reality as this conscious dream. Seraphim field is the source, higher self is the dreamer, everyday mind the avatar, quantum mechanics renders it, hermeneutics and programming filter it, and time. It's a fluid part of the whole thing.
Which really leaves you with a provocative thought, doesn't it? What if you actually can wake up within this dream, become lucid? If you really grasp this framework, could you consciously influence, maybe even co-create your own quantum dream state? How does that change your sense of agency? Right now, it's something to think about. Until next time on The Deep Dive.